bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's morning time. What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's morning time.
Down to the reading!
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's morning time.
What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? We made it. It is Friday. It is May 1st, 2026. How was your week? How was your April? Has anybody done a recap on their April? April was a April was a very good month for us. Um, I did a recap yesterday on the daily dads readings. Got a bunch of lessons. We kind of went over that a little bit yesterday, and then I did actually do a post. Guys, I are you like is anyone at all impressed? I did some posts, y'all. Why is the background not there? Am I tripping, guys? There it is. Um, I don't need your accolades. I don't need your validation. Just curious. Are you seeing them? Are they hitting? Crickets, right, David? I know. What's going on? It's been like this. I've been trying to drum it up a little bit though. I'm working. Um, Full page of notes. Day 4 on notes. This week has been all about notes. This one's a lot. I write a lot. Where are you posted? I'll go look. It's on X. It's on Twitter, buddy. I know you're not a big one on Twitter, but that's where my stuff is. Just some clips from yesterday's show or 2 days ago's show, and trying to make them fun and interesting. I asked ChatGPT to um, recap the month of April, all the readings. Because when I start the show, I take the screenshot of the reading, I put it into ChatGPT, and it helps me write the description of the show and stuff like that. Because I just don't feel like doing it. It's just easier. So that is done by ChatGPT. I'll give them the credit. So yeah, I asked them to help me do a list, and then I even did a giveaway post. I'm really bad at it, so I really just I'm looking for some people to help me maybe figure out the best way to do these things. I'm a little too wordy in my X posts, so I think no one wants to read all that stuff, and sometimes the videos are too long. Who wants to watch those long videos? I don't know. It's there's no hooks. The one that had the biggest hook was the video started with you guys got where could I get some weed? Like that one. That's the one it's taken off. It's gonna go viral. It's gonna turn me into a celebrity, and that's not what I want. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's go to these notes. I have too many of them, so I don't know how I'm gonna get through all this, but we shall try. We shall try. I mean, it's just David and I, so it's not like I'm gonna be distracted by anybody. Yeah, I know you don't. It's okay though. It's just where this startup of the community, the V Friends that turned into the Daily Dads. It's just where it all started. It's the platform that I feel the most comfortable and native on, so it just makes sense for me. A little bit of a recap. Coach Beard is I wish, dude. No, I don't. But I feel like it sometimes, but then I don't. So it's cool. Um, Successful week this week. I know I was going into last week telling everybody that, I got a busy triple booked Monday. Monday went off without a hitch. Every day after that just went smooth. It was great. It was a good, makes me proud. Um, to think about how far I've come, like how good I'm getting at communicating and scheduling and making my, point known to my team that we need to be doing this on this day. So this week was a good week. We stayed on schedule for all the new jobs. Um, Everything's fine. So it was great. Had some good meetings yesterday with my trades on the new project, and then a good long meeting finalizing some lighting fixtures with the designer on my development project. And uh and then we have a good talk afterwards. He and I get along very well. We kind of just shoot the shit a little bit, some arguably a little bit too much. I'm a little on the fence on how much I should be divulging to people, but I like to think it'll it's a good thing, to kind of be a little vulnerable, put yourself out there. Long commute home, long one, 2.5 hours, 2:15, something like that. Just straight traffic all the way home. Went straight to soccer. Bentley, I think I got there like right as they were getting there, so like the timing worked out perfectly. Uh, Got to watch him do his soccer thing. He's having a good time, and that's all that really matters. The team is still in that young kid stage where they kind of just all group up. There's no real like rhyme or reason. There's usually one or two standout kids that kind of control the ball in the crowd a little bit. So it's very very good to see the coaches rotating the kids good. He seems like a really nice guy. They got his attention, or he has their attention. What's up? Good morning, Anthony. So I'm really digging the soccer, the coach, everything like that. It's been good for him. It's getting good for us. Gets us out of the house, gets him out of the house running around, and he likes it. There's one. Well, I'll get into that a little later. What else? What else on my notes? My page of notes. Look at this, Anthony. I should be a writer. There's full freaking page. Um, Oz, good morning, sir. How are you doing? Um, my wife is still upset with me. We have not gotten to the stage of repair. That will be what today is about. Um, Felt a little bit of the cold shoulder yesterday at soccer. Uh, and she was very stressed out with, getting everybody to soccer. For some reason, Bailey came. I don't exactly know what that was about, but she was there. There was a last minute field change, so Amy had set up everything by herself on one end of the soccer field, and then had to pick it all up and drag it all the way to the other end of the soccer field. And I wasn't there. Like I said, I pulled up, and she is already dragging it to the other side. So that's a bummer. So that made it tougher. Coaching helps bond with the kids, and the kids, yeah, I love it. It's I'm not coaching. I don't know. I just haven't felt the pull just yet. Soccer's not my jam. I definitely would much rather just spectate. I know nothing about soccer, and I don't want to pretend. But yeah, Bailey was there. So that was pretty interesting. I mean, I love seeing my daughter, so that's one good fact. Don't exactly know why she's there. Um, like I said, she had a hard day the other day, so maybe it was some spillover from that. I don't know, but I got to interact with her, got to talk to her, got to see how her end of the year swim dinner went. She said it was great. They had a good time. Um, they were playing outside afterwards or hanging out outside, and they got to see like the aftermath of the rocket launch that was apparently yesterday. So that's cool. She loves those things. Um, and then I drove Bailey home. She and I really wanted to get out of there quick, so we kind of left. That probably wasn't the best idea because we kind of just like jammed out of there. Didn't really like formally say goodbye to Amy's parents. I literally came off the road 2 hours, and I had to use the restroom, and the restrooms on the soccer field are, like, too far, and I wanted to watch Bentley play. I should have gone down there, that was my mistake, and just used the restroom, but, man, I had to get out of there, I had to jam home. Bailey was saying she was hungry, um, but we had to talk on the way home, just kinda like, "How's life? How's school going?" She is ready to be done. So I think I said 2.5, 3 weeks, and she'll be out of school. Swim season's over, cheer season's over until July, and they do summer stuff. Um, so she's in the easy weeks, but she is smoked. She's ready to be done. She had her final swim thing yesterday, which I missed. She got last place in her I think it's 100 butterfly. She got smoked, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm like the oldest on varsity or something like that." So I think she was kind of a little bit hammered down from that, from just like the number one time was like a freshman or something like that. So I think she was just getting hit hard yesterday. Get home, Brooklyn's just in bed. She's just chilling. She's just hanging out. Chatted with her for a minute. She seemed to have a good day. Kind of gave me one of those, I don't recall what happened. You get smoked some days. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You do. But you not fail, you learn something. Yeah. I think she's learning, what I've always known and what's always been like kind of a struggle for me with kids sports is that you gotta train like year round. A lot of these kids are getting like extra, like a lot of extra time in the pool after school, after hours, weekends. Maybe they got like a private coach, something like that. Like they're like kids sports is a very like boosted thing once you get to like certain levels. Like I have a friend, we have a friend, a family friend from our old town, and their son is like heavy into soccer and just the stuff that she posts of him. It's just like life is soccer. In fact, I think the last thing I heard was that they're homeschooling him just so that he can have more time on the soccer field essentially, and just do the bare, the minimum on schoolwork, but just like they're going hard on soccer with him. And that's what makes it tough for, families like us. We are not big into all that stuff. Don't really have the funds for all of that extra on the swim or the cheerleading. So, you know, Bailey's never gonna be the best. Um, I'm hoping that we're teaching her that that's okay. That we're really trying. Late workout, got to bed, posted some stuff. Um, got some. I'm trying to get off these notes, guys. We got most of it done. We're ready to get to the reading. Little housekeeping. The only other thing I have to do is we're gonna do the sprinklers this weekend. We're gonna start working on the garden. That's my wife's Mother's Day gift. Shh, I haven't told her. And then also pinned to my ex profile is a giveaway. Really horribly done. But if you want to like boost it a little bit or put your name down in the hat, we're giving away a book of the Daily Dad, thanks to Dylan. And then I'm gonna throw in like some befriend stuff that I have in my locker, maybe some stickers, maybe a slab. I don't know. Like I got some stuff. I don't think I have any Daily Dad swag. I would love to get back on that, but we're talking like a rebrand maybe, so maybe there'll be a whole new version of shirts one day. So we'll figure that out. Bailey never say never. She might just rise up. Maybe. You never know. We do never know. I know. I'm her dad. Um, good morning at work coaching. All right. Let's go, dude. Get some. Don't put me on the screen at no gym. I don't want that pressure, dude. I'll be in your ear, but that's it. Or just turn it off. Like go back to work. It's fine. Thank you for saying hello. Love you, buddy. Hope you and the fam are having a good weekend. But yeah, w- we're here. We're here. It's a new month, chat. It's a new month. Okay. The month of May, the title of the month of May is Character is Fate, Lessons in Right and Wrong. This is going to be another fun, trying one, maybe some kicking in the pants. Who knows? Little doubling down on deeper lessons in life, and that, like, you know, life isn't just about the grades and the school accolades and the swim and the cheer and the drama and the friends. It's really about, as the reading teaches us, developing their character, showing them your character, leading by example. We're gonna read a whole bunch of stuff along those lines. And today's was, this predicts everything. Character is fate. So it goes into a little bit of, your job as their parent is to build their character, help raise them up with some um some correct character traits. And where did everything go? Boom, May is here. Oh, gotcha. I see you referencing. Yeah, I have that reference too. Thank you, David. Bailey's a good example. You may get smoked. It builds you in other areas, and you're the best person. So yeah, that was one of my examples. I did try to like pull in some examples of things. And Bailey's was definitely like one of the things that I absolutely love that they seem to teach in the environment of swim is the high five after the race. So for any of you that don't know or haven't seen swim meets, they typically, it's, these swim meets are just Bailey's school versus one other school. And so when they set up the swim lanes, every other lane is the other team, right? So it'll go Bailey's team, the other team, Bailey's team, the other team. So when Bailey's racing, the two girls next to her in the next lanes are her rivals or the competition. She's also competing for time and personal records and stuff like that. But at the end of the race, it seems very typical. And maybe it's more like 50-50. But the girls, the guys, they'll reach over and they'll high five the person next to them. And I love that because it's like, hey, you just beat me or I just beat you. But like, we're gonna give a high five. We're gonna be like David says, we're gonna be a good loser and a gracious winner. And that is cool to me. I love that. When every time I see that, it makes me proud when she does it. It makes me happy to see other kids doing it in other races. For Bentley, we had a good example of that at these soccer games. There's this little girl. I don't know who she is or her name, but I've just noticed that anytime someone falls down, she goes right over to them and like, kind of like, even though she's very tiny, she like puts her hand out and then she asks if they're okay. And they're just like, kids fall down all the time. So, and she just like is a magnet for it. So I just absolutely, loved watching that. Whoever her parents are raising her in with some good character, in my opinion. I don't know much else about her from what I've seen there in that situation. Um, and I've seen that a lot in the soccer field. I know that is something that the coaches do teach. I love the um, what is it in like the high school football? Like when the players hurt, everybody takes a knee, including the cheerleaders. They sit down on the box or will take a knee, and it's just a sign of stopping, respecting the person hurt, making sure they're okay. Those kind of things are something that I appreciate in the world of sports, where we're teaching these kids to just be better, be respectful. Um, and then for Brooklyn, the thing that I noticed the most about her, when I pick her up, the location where I pick her up, she has to cross like the busy driveway that comes out of the school, and so there's a lady there that acts as a crossing guard. I don't think that's her job. I think she's someone else in the school. And I've just noticed Brooklyn. stopping and interacting with her, and they seem to have a, like a rapport, like a conversation going. And I know that about Brooklyn. She, she's a chatterbox when it comes. She loves speaking with older people. It's always been her thing. That a couple weeks ago they had spring break, and she wanted me to bring her into work so that she can go chat with and talk with her old grade school crossing guard, Mr. James, and we did that. And it was just that's lovely. That's good character right there. You already posted that one. She'll probably grow up and be a trauma doctor. The little girl on this, yeah, yeah, it's definitely that is kind. I love seeing kindness in my kids. I don't always see it, but when I see it, it's great. It burns brightest. Model character. So we gotta talk about modeling it. So I don't exactly know how I'm modeling it. I can tell you that in a lot of situations, going back to our old house, we had some elderly neighbors. We would, talk to them. We still go and see the lady that lives next door. Her husband passed away, so we still go and check in on her from time to time. Um, the crossing guard was a perfect example. Like that guy was great. That guy was amazing. These people make it super easy uh, to show your kids how like positive interaction with other adults can happen. So I love that. And let's see, the reading goes into some character traits. It didn't really put in a lot of character traits, so it's kind of like struggling a little bit. I'm sure we'll read it in the readings further in the month, but we did touch on. Did we? Maybe it was ChatGPT that did it. Patience, honesty, discipline. A lot of these V friends traits, like resilience. I think was one that. Oh, that's not resilience. Confidence is a good one. Resilience. So those kind of things, and that for me is another reason why, um, the 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 behind the scenes, not the behind the scenes, the V friends brand or IP is like such a so alluring to me. Is alluring the right word? Man, that was a struggle. Um, because these are like I think a lot of people have said this. I think this was the thing that Ryan said a lot is that this this IP, these traits uh feel very much needed in the world of parenting and raising kids. I grew up on X-Men and Spider-Man and the Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. And it was, there were traits in all of those that I found positive, but I don't think they were as much at the forefront as I feel like the VFriends IP is putting them by adding the word in the name of the character. And then whenever that character is interacting or in a show or in a comic or in a whatever it is that they're going to do, you'll know that the lessons that that character is trying to teach or embody or learn, you're going to know like right away it's going to be, you know, resilience if the resilient red devil is in a show or a scene. So I liked that. I saw that. I hooked onto that when Ryan was bringing it up, and it's something that I probably wish was more present in my life. Was more present in the early years of my parenting, like through Bailey's childhood. And I just think that that's a really good thing, and that kids and parents could use that. So I'm hooked for sure. Da, 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 da. And then we'll go into a little bit more about us as parents, how you model it, how you show it. For me, that's been kind of that's also been what the Stoic readings are about this month. the Stoic month for May is right action. So it's along a similar status as the Daily Dad. Of course, it's the same book, same author. Um, but that's been something I've been going back and forth with how I'm showing up at home, how I'm modeling. I think Oz and I were going back and forth a little bit about, you know, how difficult it can be to, always making sure that you're like showing up right for them, and, you know, not not kind of like exploding. That's what I have trouble with. I have trouble with, most days or 4 days of the week. So I guess it's not most days. It's technically more than half. I'm pretty exhausted by the time I see my kids, and it's tough to have patience. It's tough to have understanding. It's tough to be calm. It's tough to be, a steady, uh, good charactered person when you're smoked, when you're exhausted. So it's been something I've been working on. I'm working on it through my journaling, through these moments with you guys, and I've gotten a lot better, but there's always room for improvement. There's always another level, there's always a next step, and that's becoming enjoyable to me, whereas before it wasn't. The thought of like, "Oh, to change this about myself, I have to do better," like, that wasn't as enjoyable, but now as I'm seeing my progress so far, it does feel it feels good to have came this far, and so it feels good to think about the future and what I'll become. Mhm. It's a little, like, weird little brain thing right there is like, I don't wanna talk about myself right now. Did I get through these whole notes? So ChatGPT helped me out with some cool quotes to, help me reframe my stoic mind in these instances of trying time. One thing it helped build for me is basically a mantra to kind of say to myself as I'm walking through the door: uh, calm, curious, steady. I don't escalate. Right? Decent one. Yeah, I like that. Tonight I'm calm, present, and slow. So those are like the two kind of like trying to reframe my mind on what I want to be for myself and my kids. And then another thing it helped give me is in those moments where I can feel I'm walking into a situation, or my kids are, acting up or doing something that I normally am not a fan of, or me and my wife are getting into something, is to just stop, take 5 deep breaths, and just say to myself, this is a rep. So I'm learning that, this is all the struggles, the frustrating situations. This is my practice. This is my work. This is my rep. This is my exercise. This is how I show what I am becoming, what I'm doing, how I show my character, etc. So yeah, body the lessons. This is not show and tell. Calm, curious, steady, non-escalating presence. Them's my notes, chat. Them's my notes. Where's everybody at? Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you so much. Hope you're having a good weekend. What's going on in New York this weekend? How's it going? When's the next Be Friends meetup? Pizza at Anthony's house is what I heard. Pizza and beer at Anthony's house. Ripping packs. Um, I think there's a decent sized show this morning, or this evening. Is it Ross? Is Ross Brown rocking one of his crazy shows today on Whatnot? Um, yeah, let's do pizza. If you're in New York, hit up Anthony. Pizza at his place. Nothing better than hanging out with Anthony. Uh, right? That's that's one of the main reasons I want to go to New York. Yes, Ross at 7 p.m. selling everything like a wild, wild child that he is. Getting my skateboard and skating out for the weekend. Enjoy the pizza in NYC. Yeah, have a good weekend, man. We'll talk to you later. Thank you everybody for showing up. Appreciate everybody for everything. Just coming in, hanging out, giving me your time for 30 minutes. And, if you can help me out, give me some advice on how my posts are coming across on X, you know, the videos, the text, I don't know, like just hit me in the DMs. I'll love to continue this chat. I'm always open, but we'll see you back here on Monday. I'm gonna have a good weekend. I hope you have a good weekend. Uh, Build your kid's character, I guess, is how we're gonna end that one. But see you everybody. Bye now. Music.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up.